the employees, but on the services that they provide. I'm sure many of you have seen that our federal parks ranks are being decimated. And the fear is that this is not just a coincidence, just like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is not a coincidence. If we get rid of the people who work in the parks, then we can say we don't have the bandwidth to do this. We're going to turn it over to the states. How many of you want your state running our national parks?
Hell no! That's for drilling.
Yes. So we really need to pay attention to the law. None of this is by accident. None of this is just Elon Musk not knowing what he's doing, although there is an element of that. Mr. Musk is touted as a genius. And I believe in the world of building electric cars, he is a genius, but he knows nothing of government. This man didn't get even the government classes you got because he's not a U.S. citizen.
He came here illegally.
Mr. Musk came here illegally, never took a civics course, but he's dismantling your government.
You know, I also want to shout out to the press, because that is the other thing that we've seen a drastic escalation of in the last couple of weeks, the attacks of the freedom of the press. So I want to shout out to the press who came out today for doing their jobs and actually reporting on what is going on the ground. So let's give them all a big shout out.
So does anyone have a chant they'd like to lead us in?
No Musk, no Trump, no fascist USA. 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 So this is a message directly to Blake Moore, Celeste Malloy, Mike Kennedy, Burgess Owen, Mike Lee, and John Curtis. What are we? Fed up! 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 What do we want them to do?
Do their jobs!
What do we want them to do?
Do their jobs!
What do we want them to do?
Do their jobs!
And then if you guys did not see, we have some fabulous signs over here. Please come and grab them. We have some yard signs and some handheld signs. So come over and feel free. They were donated. So we want to give a big shout out to a union print shop who did this for us today. You know, the other thing that's been reported is that every agency Musk is decimating right now are the agencies that were involved in investigating him. So this is a calculated move to end the investigations.
Yeah, there are lots of questionable things about Mr. Musk. But it's really important that we focus on the fact that he is an unelected official who they created a department for without going through Congress. So it was not
Elon Musk!
Woo! Woo! So I'm going to play you guys something really quick. I don't know if y'all heard this. This was, if you don't know, the wonderful Rep. Jasmine Crockett. This was her yesterday.
To Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
That's it.
I second that.
If you could speak.
So a lot of people are just now showing up because we did advertise this as it's a power lunch. It starts at 12:15 and it ends at 12:45. We are here to show that we protest what is happening with our government. We protest that our representatives are not protecting us. We protest that a citizen that is highly conflicted and damaged is in charge of our government at this point. President Musk is taking the role of the presidency and doing what he wants. And this needs to stop. This is absolutely not acceptable in a democracy for it is illegal.
Okay, I'm going to give you a homework. I want everyone to take out your phones right now. Everyone take out your phone. And I want you to save this phone number in your phone right now. Y'all ready? Put your hands up when you're ready. Okay, you're going to save 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. That is the switchboard that will give you direct access to any of your elected representatives in Congress and the Senate. Save that number, use it every day, because they will not silence us. And the first rule is we do not obey in advance.
Yeah! This is how democracies die. You guys coming out today is so important because a lot of your fellow citizens are sleepwalking right now. They're pretending this is normal. They're pretending, I've had people say to me, it's politics as usual. This is not politics as usual. We do not have a king. We have branches of government that follow the rule of law.
And reminder, it's supposed to be co-equal.
And part of what's happening is your senators and your members of Congress, your House of Representatives, are not doing their job. They should be saying, we hold the purse strings, back off. But they're not doing that. They're quiet. They're allowing all of this to happen. Today I finally saw a headline that said, Republicans growing tired of Musk. But I want to tell you, the only reason they may be tired of him is because of you. You are making noise and you are making it heard that this is not okay. But you need to keep doing it. We need you to call every day. If you do not have 5 calls on your phone, it's a great app. It gives you background on the things that are happening. It gives you a script. So when you call, if you don't know exactly how to call and talk to your member of Congress, it gives you some information to use. I will tell you, John Curtis does not answer his phone in Washington, D.C. So try his, he also has a Salt Lake City number. You can look it up online. But his, almost any time I call his office in D.C., it goes to voicemail. That's not acceptable. He works for us.
He's a coward!
He's a coward. There are so many things happening. I'm sure all of you are aware that the federal employees and the summary firing of so many federal workers is just the tip of the iceberg. We really are trying to focus on the things that are illegal and unconstitutional. We're trying to hold them to the standard that every previous Congress and president has followed. When you hear things like, well, Biden forgave student debt, that was the same thing. That is such a false equivalency, and we need to call it out. Biden had a measured approach. It harmed no one while it went through the courts. Nobody was harmed. And the courts did say that was unconstitutional. So we know it's unconstitutional what's happening. Why is it happening? We're watching the courts come back over and over, and they're upholding the majority of what is going to court. But our federal employees don't have the resources to go to court. And that's what's wrong in this moment, is they are not being protected by the systems that should be protecting them.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Shout out!
And so I don't know if you heard last night, there was a vote in the House of Representatives where every Utah Republican voted for the budget, which gives $4.3 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1% in this country. Meanwhile, it is mandated that they must cut $880 billion off of Medicaid and $230 billion from SNAP. So, in Blake Moore's district, sorry, I have to scroll down. 49,000 people are on SNAP in Blake Moore's district. 49,000. The majority of them are children and seniors. There are 75,146 people on Medicaid in Blake Moore's district, which includes 37,000 children and 6,000 seniors. That is who they are going after.
Stop it! Stop them! Stop them!
It is a war on all of us. It's taking your government services, cutting them, and then giving the money to billionaires. Don't let them tell you anything differently.
Now, if you're in Celeste Malloy's district, there are 105,000 people on Medicaid, including 55,000 children and 8,000 seniors.
It's a war!
That is an astronomical number. There are also 63,000 people on SNAP. Now, SNAP, usually you get about $6 a day per person. How many of you can eat off $6 a day?
Price of eggs.
Not even in the 90s. $5 for a meal at Plaza Mall.
And in Mike Kennedy's district, there are 81,261 people on Medicaid, including 41,000 children and 7,000 seniors, and 34,000 people on SNAP. I'd have to do math. And in Burgess Owens district, there are 77,500 people on Medicaid, including 44,000 children and 6,000 seniors. These are the people that the Republicans are going after in order to fund tax breaks for the billionaires. Now, this was a preliminary vote last night. We can still stop it. We need you to light up those phones every single day and say no welfare for billionaires.
Stop the grifters! Stop the steal!
Stop the steal!
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
Stop the steal!
So I read an interesting article article, and I'm just going to pass this out to you because it spoke to me. There are lots of ways that we can protest, and this is definitely a visible way. But this article commented that there are a lot of opportunities in just our everyday life to educate and to protest. And it said, you know, when you're going through your checkout lane and someone asks you, how are you? We typically say fine. But we shouldn't be saying fine. We should be saying things like, I'm outraged. I'm outraged, and then take that moment to educate. To say, I'm outraged that we're cutting medical care for children and seniors so that we can give billionaires larger tax breaks. And disabled. Dig into these things and understand what it is that we're losing and say it out loud. Because this is how we make a difference. You guys want some? We also have this one. It's not quite as popular. I do want to tell you, excuse me, are you here protesting against Musk?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. So, I do want to tell you a little bit about this sign. This sign was created, it was created last year when the legislature was trying to take away our rights to having propositions on the ballot, trying to make that more difficult. It's weird how appropriate it is, both on a state and a federal level, because there is a major power grab taking place, both on a state and a federal level. And they are claiming power that isn't theirs. Your state is taking away power. Well, get those signs back. Your state is taking power from your city. They are imposing many things on the city. And we all need to stand up. I know I'm exhausted, but we need to stand up and be heard. This is not okay.
And then March 4th, there is another protest at the Capitol from 12 to 3. So come out and join us for another one because we will not be silent.
It's an emergency. Stand up. Speak out.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Good job. Thank you guys so much for coming out. One of our other goals in all of this, our protest, part of our protest is to remain joyful. So we're going to play some music. We're going to make you feel glad you came out today because we will not live in fear. We will not give up our joy. We will not give up our power. We also want a picture of everyone. So we're going to have you all stand over here so we can get a picture. And you have room to dance. We're going to turn on some music. Thank you.